second group game matches begin today with Nigeria, three-time champions taking on the host Cote d'Ivoire, and seven-time champions Egypt facing Ghana. And in Europe is the Madrid derby in the Copa del Rey today, and Napoli against Fiorentina for a place in the Super Cup final. Good morning and welcome to another exciting edition of Sports Trip. I am Olujimi Dare-Ogun saying welcome to the show. And so we begin with tennis, where teenager Miriam Driver says knocking a high-door Zova out of the Australian Open was probably the best display of her fast-developing career. The 16-year-old showed once again why she's one of the sport's rising stars by demolishing an out-of-sorts Zova in a 6-love 6-2 second-round win.
That's not true. I was really nervous before the match because I'm really inspired by Ons, by the way she plays, and before I started to play on the WTA tour, I always watched the way her matches, and I was always so inspired by the way she plays, and now I had a chance to play against her, and honestly in the first set I showed an amazing tennis. I honestly didn't expect that from myself, and
Andreeva is the last remaining 16-year-old in the Melbourne draw after Brenda Fruhvirtova and Alina Koneva were unable to cause shocks against a illustrious opponent. Defending champion Arina Sabalenka won 6-3, 6-2 against Czech Fruhvirtova, eventually overwhelming her teenage opponent with her power after a competitive start. Brazilian tennis British Admire saw off Koneva, who is best friends with fellow Andreeva, in a 6-1, 6-2 win. Former world number 1 Karolina Wozniacki is out of the season-opening Grand Slam tournament after letting a lead slip against Russian qualifier Maria Timofeeva. Wozniacki playing her second major event since returning last year after having 2 children, was beaten 1-6, 6-4, 6-1 in the 20-year first main draw match at a Grand Slam. US Open champion Coco Gauff is through to the third round after a 7-6, 6-2 win over fellow American Carolina Duhaide. Fresh 16th Carolina Garcia could not back up her opening win against returning 2-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, losing to Poland's Magdalena Frech 6-4, 7-6. French Nancy Barbara Krejcikova won 6-2, 6-2 against Janet Tamira Kopacz, while Canadian 32th seed Lila Fernandez lost 7-6, 6-4 against American Arisha Parks. To the men's singles, defending Australian champion Novak Djokovic said a confrontation with a spectator was the spark needed to hold off Alexei Popyrin and avoid a shock second-round exit. Djokovic, chasing a record extending 11th men's title in Melbourne, looked far from his best in the 4-set win. The Serbian told the spectator to calm down and tell it to his face during the 4th set after a repeated heckling. The world number 1 said he did not want to be in those type of situations, but added the incident helped him to start to find the kind of intensity on the court that was required for him to see out a 6-3, 4-6, 7-6, 6-3 victory. Italy's fourth seed Jannik Sinner stormed into the third round with a dominant win against Jesper de Jong. This 22-year-old needed 1 and 3 minutes to trash Dutch qualifier 6-2, 6-2, 6-2 under a close roof of Margaret Court Arena on a raining day. Sinner will face Daniel Ella Golan or Sebastian Baez in the next round. Said he has been working up in the gym on his off days in Melbourne. Meanwhile, for Stepanos Tsitsipas, the Greek said the adrenaline rush he felt was insane as he battled past Jordan Thompson on Wednesday's night session on Margaret Court Arena. The 7th seed required 3 hours 36 minutes to overcome the Australian home 4-6, 7-6, 6-2, 7-6. He will face Bukava Archer in the third round after Italian 25th seed Lorenzo Mussati suffered a surprise defeat at the hand of the French teenager, who fought back to win from 2-1 down to win 6-3, 3-6, 6-7, 6-3, 6-love. American 17th seed Francis Tiafoe was another shock exit as he fell to a 6-4, 6-4, 7-6 loss against Czech world number 75 Thomas Makak. Tiafoe's American compatriot 12th seed Taylor Fritz and 16th seed Ben Shelton claimed win against French leg loser Hugo Gaston and Australian's Christopher O'Connell, respectively. Elsewhere, Russian 5th seed Andrei Rublev needed just 99 minutes to beat American Chris Eubank 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, while Australian 10th seed Alex de Minaur swept aside Italy's Matteo Anardi 6-3, 6-love, 6-3. And now to the AFCON corner on the show. Pre-tournament favorite Morocco began their 2023 African Cup of Nations campaign with a convincing win over 10-man Tanzania in Group F. The Atlas Lions took the lead on the half hour when Ruben Science pounced after Kim Ziyech's swapping free kick was pumped back into danger.
Ziyech! He can't handle it. It's an opening goal from the captain, Roman Saiss. It was too hot to handle by Shimanula. Scorching free kick. Roman Saiss puts Morocco ahead. Unahi! Lovely goal. It's Unahi. Pass after pass after pass. It only Tanzanian defence as Adina Nahi gets the second. The scorer. And Rafa came in. Nasiri!
Game ended 3-0 in favour of Morocco with Azadino Nai doubling the lead and Yusuf Nesri converting from Hakimi's cross. Meanwhile, in the 100 Group F game, Zambia played a 1-1 draw against DR Congo, leaving Morocco to sit comfortably at the top of the table. To the big game today, Cote d'Ivoire head coach Jean-Louis said is expecting a difficult test against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria will face each other in one of the competition's standard fixtures at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium today. The two teams enjoy contrasting fortunes in their opening fixtures. The Elephants defeated Guinea-Bissau 2-0, while the Super Eagles played a 1-1 draw with Equatorial Guinea. Despite Nigeria's slow start, Gasset predicted the Super Eagles will make things difficult for them. Quoting him, he says, Nigeria is a top team. They have good players, some of the best in Africa. You can't judge them with the game against Equatorial Guinea. I think they struggle with the weather a bit in their first game. It is not easy to play at 2 p.m. here. Teams struggle even when they play in the evening, so you can imagine how difficult it is for them. So we are not going to judge them with the performance against Equatorial Guinea. It is not going to be an easy game for us. They are a tough opponent and they will make things difficult for us. The response to the Elephants coach, Super Eagles defender Kenneth Umeru, has revealed that Joseph Pesero's men will beat the host nation Ivory Coast at the ongoing 2023 African Cup of Nations if they stay focused during the encounter. Quoting him, he says, Nigerians should expect us to try to give our best and win the game. Obviously, they are playing at home as the host nation. I think we are better than them, and I think we can win that game, but we have to go out there, stay focused, and try to win. Meanwhile, Super Eagles head coach Joseph Pesero has revealed that Alassane Yusuf will not feature in Team's Group A clash against the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Yusuf will miss the game after picking up a thigh injury in the Super Eagles clash against Equatorial Guinea on Sunday. Pesero, however, said the midfielder will be available for the Super Eagles last group game against the Giants of Guinea-Bissau. The Royal Antwerp midfielder makes his competitive debut for the Super Eagles against the Unzala National. Pesero could turn to Joe Aribo or Kelechi Iheanacho as his replacement. Injury concern for the Ivorian as well as Sebastian Alla, who remains a down for the game against Nigeria later today. Alla missed the Elephants opening day win against the Giants of Guinea due to injury. Cote d'Ivoire head coach Jean-Louis Gasset provided an update on the Borussia Dortmund start fitness during the interaction with the media yesterday. Quoting him, he says, Alla is recovering well as well as he should in his situation. We shall assess his progress and make a judgment on match fitness at the appropriate time. Away from that is another Group A tie between Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. Meanwhile, in Group B is Egypt against Ghana. Two top teams who surprisingly played a 2-2 draw and a 1-1 draw respectively in their last game. Now to football injury. Brighton yesterday lost to Nottingham Forest in the English FA Cup 3-2, while Bristol Rovers lost at home as well to Norwich City by 3-1. Everton defeated Crystal Palace by 1-0. In the Spanish Copa del Rey, is Celta Vigo away from home defeating Valencia, Real Sociedad away from home defeating Osasuna, defeated Rayo Vallecano. Away from that, later today in the Spanish Copa del Rey is the Madrid derby between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid, while Barcelona away from home will take on Salamanca. Finally, Napoli and Fiorentina will play the semi-final of the Italian Super Cup in Saudi Arabia later today. This is where we call it a wrap on today's edition of Sport Trip. Keep listening to us on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. I am Olujimi Dare-Ogun saying stay sporty, stay healthy.